Hey, what's happening, everybody? Mac the Duel is coming at you again from the TCG Enterprise, where we talk about all your favorite card games. So, you guys, I have another awesome deck to show for you today, and this one is another Magic deck, and it's for Pioneer. I'm actually going to start competing into Pioneer decks, and this one is fairly decent. So, we're going to go ahead and just check it out here. This is green Prowess, so we'll go ahead and bring it out here, you guys. So starting off, we are going to be going with our Deep Root Champion, and we're going to be running 4 of these ones here. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 on Deep Root Champion. This thing will stack up pretty quick. It revolves around for plus-up counters, +1/+1 counters, and plus-ups, beef-ups, and everything like that. A lot of big dudes in this deck, which you'll see in a little bit. Next up, we have 4 of the Dragon Guard Elite. Has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, you put a +1 counter on Dragon Guard Elite. Then you can pay for 2 and 4, total 6, and double the number of +1 counters on Dragon Guard Elite. So this will get pretty big pretty quick. Next, the big guy of the deck, and we are going to be going with 3 of Managorger Hydra. Has trample, and whenever a player casts a spell, you put a +1 counter on towards the Managorger Hydra. This thing will get very, very big. Hydras are very known. Once they get beefed up, there's no stopping them, especially when they have trample to overpass for the damage. Next, we're going to be going with 3 Stonecoil Serpent. Has reach, trample, and protection from multicolor. A lot of the times, there's a lot of people who run dual colored. A lot of the times they run 3 colors. So it definitely would help out a lot against those kind of decks. Stonecoil Serpent will enter the battlefield with X +1 counters on it. Just another thing to either block with or attack with, either or. And because a lot of times people have flyers, that's where reach comes in. It stops them so that way they can't hit you for free. As far as the creatures, that is it. Because we're going to be running a lot of spells. One in particular, we're going to be going with 3 of Adventurous Impulse. The Adventurous Impulse will allow you to go ahead and look at the top 3 cards of the library. You may reveal a creature or land from among them and put it into your hand for the rest of the bottom of the library in any order. This is an excellent searcher, especially out for budget. This is a very budget deck, as I said before, so don't expect anything to be overly priced into this, but still, it hopefully should be able to stand a lot towards the current formats for Pioneer. So, next, we are going to be going with 2 Charge Through. Target creature will gain trample till the end of the turn and allows you to go ahead and get your draw power, so you'll draw 1 card from that, which is always nice. Can't go wrong with those. Then we're going to be going with 4 of the Ram Through. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you did not control. If the creature you control has trample, excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. So, if the damage is dealt out towards the opponent, excuse me, so towards the creature, it's going to deal it out towards the opponent as well, which is really awesome, honestly. Next, we're going to be going with 3 of the Snakeskin Veil. Put a +1 counter on towards a target creature you control. It'll have hexproof until the end of the turn, which means it will not be the target of spells or abilities your opponent controls. That is a very good card. A lot of times we need to have that hexproof in case if we were going up against blue, which they like to go ahead and take control of things, or for white, they like to banish things, or particularly with blue, who just likes to bounce, or primarily on red, who likes to go ahead and burn. They'll either hit the opponent mainly, or they'll go ahead and hit the creatures, and before they even have a chance to get pumped. So that's where this comes in. Then we're going to be going with 3 of the Tamio Safekeeping. Target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of the turn. And you gain 2 life. So, why not? Free life gain. Why not? Then we're going to be going with 3 Wild Shape. This is always nice. Choose 1 till the end of the turn. Target creature you control that has a base power and toughness will it basically will become that creature. Then it will gain that ability. So if you have a turtle, it will have hexproof. A spider with reach. An elephant with trample. That's what it will turn into, and it'll gain those abilities, which is really, really fun. Then we're going to be going with a very expensive, at least for this particular case, 3 Hardened Scales. This is pretty pricey. If 1 or more +1 counters we put onto a creature you control, put that many +1 +1 counters are put on it instead. So you'll put that many plus an additional. Then we go with 4 Season of Growth. This one's always nice to have. Whenever a creature enters onto the battlefield, you scry. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. Always good to have those, especially for just a 2-drop. You cannot go wrong with that. So that's it for our spells. Now on towards our lands. It's pretty basic, honestly. Being that it is a green deck, you can't really go with that many colors as far as the lands go. But nonetheless, you can still have a lot of add-ins, which are like a lot of fun. So, of course, we're going to be going with our forests. You know how our forests go. They're all over the place. Lots of forests. Lots of forests. 17 to be exact. 17 forests. And then finally, 2 Hall of Oracles. Has a 1 tap for the tap pay for the 1 or add 1. Sorry, add 1. Then you pay 1 and then add 1 mana of any color. Then you could tap and put a +1 counter on target creature. Only activated as a sorcery and only if you cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn. So it gives a little bit of extra boost towards our guys, which is always nice. And then we are going to be going with 2 Hashep Oasis. Tap, put a mana to your mana pool, pay 1 life, add green, double green and 1, sacrifice a desert. The target creature will gain +3/+3 till the end of the turn, and then you would activate this ability of any time you would cast a sorcery. So that is it for the main deck. Now on towards the side deck, we are going to be going with 2 Inscription of Abundance. This one's really cool. It has a kicker of 3, so you pay the 2, then the 1 green. You choose 1. If it was kicked, choose any number instead. So you'll put 2 +1 counters onto a target creature. The target player gains X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures they control. Target creature you control fights target creature you do not control. Honestly, the best way to do it, go ahead and kick it so you get all 3 abilities. Why not? Then, as far as our creature, we are going to be going with Mistcutter Hydra. It has protection from blue, it has haste, and it cannot be countered. Then it'll enter in with +X counters onto it, which is really, really great. You just swing hard with it right away and then just knock your opponent out flat. They don't have a response. Because it's blue, it can't be countered. Then we are going to go with 3 Natural State. Destroy target artifact or enchantment with converted mana cost 3 or less. A lot of times we're running into a lot of stupid stuff, so we might as well go ahead and take advantage of this. We could go ahead and utilize a lot of these great effects to have our stuff. Like, let's say, for example, the Banisher thing with an Oblivion Ring. I'm not saying they would, but let's just say that they do. Something to converted mana cost 3 or less, you go ahead and destroy that. That way you get your creature back. And then at the same time, if they were going out for a lot of artifacts, mainly one particular artifact that I do hate is Chalice of the Void. You could go ahead, I believe you could hit into that one. It should be times the X, so hopefully they don't pump it anything higher than 3. Because it's a converted mana cost of 3 or less, so it technically would be less, but the moment that they add it out for an X, it technically changes its mana cost based off how much they use to pay it. Then we're going to be going with 2 of the Savage Summoning. Cannot be countered. Cannot be countered. The next creature card you cast this turn can be cast as though it had flash. That spell cannot be countered. That creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Oh yeah. Pump up spells are always fun. Then we're going to be going with 3 Scavenging Ooze. It's always good to have this guy. Exile a target card from a graveyard with paying the 1 green. If it was a creature card, put a +1 counter onto it and you gain 1 life. This does not satisfy, this does not state the fact of the simple satisfaction of just 1. It will do it over and over again, just as many times, depending on how many cards that they have in their graveyard. Finally, we're going to be going with 3 of the Shaper's Sanctuary. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, you may draw 1 card. So that's always fun to do those kind of things, you guys. And as I said before, this is a very, very budget kind of side of the deck. But I'll let you guys know how it went. Whether I do good, whether I do bad, doesn't matter to me. It'll still be a fun deck to play. And we just got to hope for the best there. Now, I understand there's a lot of things going on where I have to do dual videos. I'm already on top of that. I understand that. So the dual videos are definitely going to be coming, you guys. And at the same time, I have a little bit of some Halloween fun as well. So hopefully I will hopefully have a deck up and running. At the same time, you guys, as well, next month, I'm going to be going to the Yu-Gi-Oh! YCS of Pasadena, California. So I will unfortunately not be able to do anything until after that event. But prior to that event, I will end up having 1 deck, and it is the 1 deck that I'm running, and it is Black Wings. So I will definitely have an updated Black Wing deck profile. I know it's been a very, very long time since the Black Wings have been updated onto this channel. So I will definitely have that up and running for you guys fairly soon. So stay tuned in for that. And also at the same time, you guys, don't forget to show your guys the support. Please like and subscribe right now. And go ahead and hit that post notification bell so you don't miss a beat. And I'll see you guys all until the next time. Happy gaming.